Hello, Sagittarius. My name is NiJiLL. You have found alchemy, and this is your August 2025 reading. I don't know if you stayed for the shuffle and the layout, but these cards were pulled from your summer 2025 reading. And I do invite you to go and listen to that. I will be summarizing this, re-summarizing this, so this way you're not lost. But I do go into much greater detail in that reading. For sure. As a matter of fact, the first card that's actually buried in here, I go into a great deal of detail about it because it's an alternate card. But enough of that. We'll just do this for now. And if you have any interest in that card, you should definitely go and look. So you do have rejection, loss, fragmented. Let's see what this is about. I'm gonna have to move some of this out of the way. Just gonna move this over and move this down. As you can see, as always, I have a lot of cards here on the table. Okay. So you have the Six of Pentacles, and this is a very interesting card. This is, as I said, an alternate card in this massive deck that I have, and this represents Earth, at least in this deck. The only correlation is with the Earth element. And the Six of Pentacles, I do pull up both of those cards and put them on the screen so you could see them, to see the differences. This particular version of it is a gift. Do you see the angel throwing a pentacle, right? This is a gift. And when an angel gives you a gift, it's much different from a human giving you a gift, right? Sometimes humans give you a gift and it's sort of on the premise of, well, you owe me now, right? It's different from the divine. This is the divine, all right? And the divine is whatever you believe the divine to be. It could be an angel, could be the universe, the law of attraction, could be God, could be your ancestors, whatever it is you believe this to be. But this is a gift from the divine, okay? And this is a gift for the man-made plane, right? It is truly a gift with nothing attached to it. Okay. You have, the next card up is the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is Jupiter and Gemini energy. You may feel stuck, but this is only a perception. We know, right? You've probably heard it described. You see her, she's surrounded by all these swords. There's a castle in the background. Anytime she really wants, she can be free of this situation. It's almost as if some people in this situation are choosing not to see something, or maybe they're taking a break, or maybe they perceive themselves to be stuck in a situation. But this is, like I said, only a perception. Next card up here is the Page of Pentacles. Now, these larger cards, including the first one, in any given reading, I do not take them in reverse, but I take note of them when they come in reverse. And this particular card did come in reverse. So this is Mercury and Taurus energy. And, for this to come in reverse and for us to ultimately take it right side up here, you may be wondering about this gift that you're getting. Is it a gift? You may be a little skeptical, a little suspicious. There's a certain amount of skepticism that's very healthy, honestly. It really is. Because as you can see here, you're looking at it, you're wondering about it, but you accept it. Okay, so that's the ultimate thing here with this. At least at first, you're like, Here you have the Queen of Cups coming in truly upright. Venus in Cancer energy. This is a nurturing, sensitive, strong person. There is a cup. I'm not going to say it's being offered, okay? This could be an offering. I always look at the Knight of Cups like it's more of an offer. This is definitely someone who is very nurturing. This could be someone around you. This could be how you're looking at it. You're looking at a situation. You're going from the Page of Pentacles in reverse to the Page in Pentacles upright to the Queen of Cups. Okay, I love this. I'm nurturing this, right? You see that this cup isn't really open, right? She has a closed cup, but it is her cup. And I don't think it's being offered so much as if it's being treasured. It's like sort of like this is wonderful type energy here. You have the Chariot, more Cancer energy coming in sideways. Beautiful energy, actually. But it is coming in sideways, and in my readings anyway, that is a decision on whether to move forward, right? Because the Chariot is a very fast-moving energy that moves forward with a force, or in reverse, somebody that's holding back. And it goes with that decision, right? You're making a decision. Should I go forward with this? Should I take off with this idea? Should I move forward with this gift, right? You do have here the Hanged Man. and this is Piscean energy. And this is a matter of what? Perspective. Just like with that Eight of Swords energy, right? It is a matter of perspective. What direction should I take? And it sort of goes very hand in hand with the Eight of Swords, and it also goes hand in hand with that sideways Chariot energy, right? New perspective. And it leads straight into here, the Ace of Swords, right? And you have the Ace of Swords here. And it's pure air energy in the Rider deck. And, being that it is coming in sideways, this is also a choice, right? And, we know that the Ace of Swords is the sword of truth. Is it true? This means, is it true that I'm seeing things clearly? Because it's clarity, it's truth. It's really nice because you're holding a wreath and a sword. So it is a gain of some kind, but I think you're trying to cut through the crap to see what it is and what it isn't, right? And you may be, and it does say rejection, you may be rejecting this at first, and that's fine. Because I think in the end, like I said, healthy skepticism, very, very good, as long as you evaluate what's going on and you figure out what's true and what's not. Now, this could be a job situation. This could be a love relationship situation. It's going to be different for all Sagittarians. But here, when we add this up and we break it down, we get Neptune energy, which really makes a lot of sense, right? It's confusion, illusion, trying to cut through all that here. So let's move on to your reading. In your overview, you have this, let's see. You have this fire energy, right? And it says take action on someone or something. The worst thing you can do is not to try. You have the green light to go forward, right? I would say so. After some deliberation, you do decide to move forward with something here. And what's interesting is diagonally across from this, you have the element of water, right? And the element of water is your emotions. So whatever is going on is going to trigger the water and fire element inside you, your emotions and your passion, your passion for something or someone, your love for something or someone. You have Chiron here, and this is number 11 in this deck. Chiron will be in the fiery sign of Aries in August. So there is more fire energy, right? I look at Aries like Aries is the father of all fire signs, right? And the Chiron will remain in Aries until 2026. Pretty sure it's June, right? So you are being called to go very deep and to go stronger and to go higher, to push yourself within that chariot beyond what you normally think, what you normally feel, what you normally do, and what you normally believe. Once you get past that skepticism and you see that this is a true offer or this is a true path, potential path, then you are being asked to take action and push yourself a little further. You have here the number 5. It says circle cross of tenon. It says rare intersection of heaven and earth. And usually when this card's out, when it comes out anyway, there's a correction at hand, right? Correcting a feeling or perhaps a situation that is not in alignment with you or your soul path. So there's a correction at hand, correction on being with a different human being, for you to walk this path with, or a different goal, right? Perhaps you're on the wrong goal path. Perhaps you're at the wrong job. Perhaps you're in the wrong situation. There is I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's terrible or toxic. It's just, there may be something better for you that may be on offer this month, for sure. So moving on to the other side here. You have encouragement, number 54. Encouragement, gentle encouragement to step into your power as a fire sign, right? This is sort of a spiritual nudge. You're going to be receiving a spiritual nudge in the right direction. I like that. And you're going to be called into what's being called to the surface is the animal in you. What is the animal in you here? It is stuff that we sort of try to refrain from feeling, that's there, buried in our subconscious, buried in the root of our soul, right? We try to be diplomatic. We try to make sense. We try to say, okay, this is the work I should be doing because it pays well, or because it's steady, or because it's secure. But underneath all that, you may be called to do a different job. And perhaps when the animal comes out for you this month, it might be something you can't ignore anymore. It could be the passion that you feel towards a human being in your life that you can't ignore anymore. There's something like that here for you, for sure. It is that primal thing. You have these two cards that came out together. And one says talent and one says nothingness. So the talent card says born with features, right? There is something, and it is that primal instinct that you're born with. It could be a talent, actual, but I really think for many of you, it is that animal thing that you were born to do, that you were born to feel, who you were born to be with. And you have nothingness, and nothingness is another card for death. It is that Scorpio energy. So something you're going to be put on notice that there may be a path before you that you took for granted as your path that may be dying away, at least in your head, figuratively. You may be looking at it like it's not so shiny anymore. Like there's something different that you're meant for, right? That may be peeking out. You have Nerthus, and this is peace and counsel. This is my Norse deck. And this card acts as a dissolver, right? It's called the dissolver of the deck, right? Something is naturally dissolving away. What did I say? It's that path that doesn't look as shiny and new. You have here over here, this is number 9 in this deck. It says responding, not reacting. It says the only control we have is how we respond to the hand we are dealt. Okay. Self-control, integrity. There is something about integrity here. Self-control, integrity, being assertive. All right, so you have self-control, integrity, and being assertive, and it's a group effort. So it's not, when you take off in that chariot, it's not you just recklessly taking off, ignoring everyone and everything around you. And it is more like, okay, I want to take off in this chariot. Let's see how it's going to affect other people. How can I go about this in the right way? That's the integrity, right? Self-control, trying to hold back that fire inside you to come out all at once. Sorry about that. I did have my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I was not aware that that would happen. I apologize. But you do have responding and not reacting, calmly making this decision, even though the passion is calling you in a certain direction. You have the eye, and this is exciting. When you pull, this is a Witch's Rune, by the way, and the eye is a yes. It is definitely a yes. And honestly, what's interesting is when you pull the eye, it does tell you to act with honor and integrity, and you will be automatically fulfilled. It doesn't always work that way, does it, Sagittarius? Sometimes you do all the right things and you don't get rewarded for that. And you see other people around you that are doing all the wrong things, and they're somehow, at least it seems like they're being rewarded. But in this particular situation, the more you act with integrity and honor, the more you're going to be fulfilled. This automatically is sort of attached to Planet X. Planet X is a hypothetical planet. It's a planet that they're constantly searching for, they have not found. So it's sort of faith-based, right? Very faith-based energy you have here. You have the letters O, you have F, you have Y, and you have V. These could be someone's initials. This could be a town, a country, a street, an airport, a restaurant, anything like that. So keep this in mind. There's going to be some sort of sign that you get with one of these. So keep this close to you this month. And one of them or all of them will mean something to you by the end of the month. Now here at the bottom, oh wait, you have these two too. You have axe and you have death. Interesting combination here. Axe, it says forces working against you, but I'm not looking at it that way. Not with all these cards. I do think that there is an axe here in your hand, and you're being asked, you're going to be gifted with some sort of power. And you're also being asked to use it wisely and with integrity. So if you are gifted with this axe, in other words, the power to really demolish the things around you, you're being asked not to do that. I don't know if that's making sense to you, because you have desk and it says pay attention to your work. For a lot of you, this is a work-based situation. There's going to be a power move for you this month with that axe. I'm telling you, you're going to be gifted with it, and you're also going to, it's almost like a test. What do you do with power? A lot of people, their true personalities come out when they're gifted with power. Do you ever notice that? When they're gifted with money and power, how do they act? Are they acting awful towards people? Are they using that power to hurt people? That's who they are. That's who they've always been. Are they using their power to nurture the people around them and move ahead in a very, with integrity and honor? Then that's who they've always been. Okay, so it's sort of like a test from the universe, and it's a gift from the universe at the same time here, for sure. Now here at the bottom you have your 3 legs. Your month is cut up into 3 sections, and yes, they can go in order perfectly, but it's not a science, and they can be out of order for some of you, so keep that in mind here. So on your first leg here, you have higher self activation. And I remember, I believe in your 2025 year, end of your 2024 end of year reading, your higher self activation, I think, was the last card pulled in that reading. So your higher self is being activated here. What did I just say? It's a test from the universe. Something's being activated. Something's being gifted towards you. What do you do with this power? Because it will say a lot about you here, Sagittarius. You have Mercury and Aquarius energy here with the 6 of Swords. And it's different from this side. You see, look on this side. You see that person holding a cup, right? You're holding a cup, and the cup is that water energy, right? Moving on to something new, something better. Moving backwards is not an option anymore, not from this side of the card. And moving ahead with that love in your heart, right? Very, very emotional. You have the Queen of Swords, Saturn in Libra, and on this side, now this could be you or someone around you. I'll describe this person for you. This is a person who may hold a grudge until amends are made. However, they will also remember a favor and a kindness always, and will repay that in spades. So this could be you or it could be someone else, but there is a force behind this person that makes them, I mean, in my opinion, a very balanced person. Not a pushover, but certainly not a bad person, someone who does remember a kindness, right? So this could be you. You could be stepping into this power, right? And you could be asked to weigh things. There could be someone around you that really is deserving of your wrath. There could be someone around you who is deserving of a grudge. And you may be called upon to forgive that person. That's all I'm saying. And you could forgive them. I'm not saying trust them again, but forgive them and move on. Make room for all this positive energy. You do have the Hermit here. This is Virgo energy, wisdom, guidance from within, right? The Hermit basically is in solitude to make decisions, to gain wisdom. There is an egg present in this picture. There is something of value, right? You're going into your own inner world here to find answers. You're going to get a nudge. I'm telling you, when we add this up and we break it down, we get Venus energy. And that is our love. It is the beauty. It is self-love. It is love for other things, but it's also our money. So this could very well be going one way or the other. And it pays to note that Venus will enter Leo on August 25th. And it is a time for sort of healthy skepticism. What did we say about up here? Healthy skepticism for Sagittarius. Questioning underlying situations, really making solid decisions. It's that Hermit energy, depending on yourself to go within. Like that leg for you here, Sagittarius. Here on your second leg, you have chemistry, passion. There's that passion we talked about. Chemistry. It could be chemistry with another person. It could be passion for another person. It could be passion for this brand new opportunity that's been presented to you. And here you go. You have the Ace of Wands, man. You don't get more passionate than that, right? That's pure fire energy. And this fire energy is, it's more fire. It is seizing an opportunity, a blast of inspiration. Do you see that lightning bolt? A blast of something coming out of the blue and inspiring you, something coming out of the blue and really setting you on fire. Because look at your middle card. You have the Tower, Mars and Aries energy, right? It is that Aries energy we just talked about, that more fire energy, right? A lot of fire on this leg, a lot of fire, a lot of really important fire. And that is that boom, right? And this is your center card for the month. This could be a person that you are just super attracted to, or something that's reignited, or it could be that idea, that inspiration, right? Something that hits you like a ton of bricks, something really positive here, Sagittarius. And you do have the Four of Cups on this side. And I like this side. This is Moon and Cancer energy, right? But look on this side, right? This is you or someone, yeah, doing pretty much nothing, just looking at these sad cups that have fallen over and saying, ah. But this side, this person has gotten on that ship, right? They are no longer sitting still. I love that energy for you, especially after this. Just somebody's taken action, in other words, right? Getting on that ship. It's that Six of Swords energy we saw on leg 1, right? And we add this column up, and there is that passion. It's that fire, fire, fire. When we add this column up and we break it down, we get Jupiter energy, which is your energy, right? That is the energy of Sagittarius. That's when Sagittarius is at their absolute best. It is your power planet. Here, Jupiter is still in Cancer in August and will remain there until next summer. So for Sagittarius, this encourages you to release, confront, and trust the process the whole time. Release something. It could be that energy we talked about, forgiveness. Could be. Okay. Confront this brand new opportunity and trust the universe. Trust the process here, Sagittarius. Here on leg 3, here you go, right? Somebody may be asking you for forgiveness. Somebody may be apologizing to you. Some of you may have to carry on as if someone apologized to you so you can release this, right? Sometimes we need an apology from people who have passed away. Or sometimes we need an apology from people who were just too stubborn and undeveloped to offer one. But, sometimes we have to heal ourselves by just saying, okay, I forgive you. I release that release energy. I release that. And I'm moving ahead with this positive, wonderful energy now. Here you have the Ace of Cups, right? There you go. Just like the Queen of Cups, right? It's that water energy. The Ace of Cups, something that you love, right? Something or someone that you love. This is something brand new that you are absolutely loving, that you're feeling a lot of passion for. That fire energy, that water energy is in all these cards, honestly. The next card up here is the Two of Swords. This is Moon in Libra energy. And this is, you see, this is very kind of turbulent, blocking it out. On this side, you're like, okay, I'm going to calmly remove myself temporarily from the situation so I could calmly make a decision. And we talked about that, right? We talked about that with this energy, a few up here. Healthy skepticism. Let me think about this, right? I like that. And you have the Page of Pentacles. You're seeing this as the opportunity that it is. And what's interesting about this card is that it is a new beginning, right? Cautious optimism, right? Holding that pentacle. I like that for you. And it is the second time it has come out. Remember that was in reverse, and we said in the end you choose that optimism, you choose that as a new, right, a young situation. When I say young, it's brand new. It could be something brand new in the realm of love, because Venus does, or for many of you, this is an opportunity. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Jupiter again. This is a power month for you, right? Expansive, luck, optimism, power month for Sagittarius. Here in your challenge, we have limitations and it says fears. So let's see what this is about. Don't forget, these are your challenges. Doesn't mean they're insurmountable, obviously. It just means this is what you need to watch out for as far as having, having issues, slowing down, right? You have here the 10 of Cups coming in sideways. This 10 of Cups is Neptune and Pisces energy, a decision about what brings you happiness. Where are you going to be happy? Where does your happiness lie? This is a decision that needs to be made. It may be a little challenging for at least part of the month here. But what's interesting is you have the 10 of Swords and 2 tens, okay? But the 10 of Swords is Sun and Gemini energy. And this is forgiving someone. Man, I can see why it might be challenging. Forgiving someone, relieving yourself of that burden. But either way, you have 2 tens, and that something is definitely ending and beginning. because after 10, you get the number 1 again. So something's ending. It is that death and rebirth energy for sure, right? Pluto energy there. And here, once again, you have the Page of Pentacles. 3 different decks. This has come out 3 times, 3 different decks. New beginnings. I'm telling you, at first you may look at this like this new, remember, it came in reverse. You may look at this new thing like it's, you know, a challenge to look at as optimistic, but I'm telling you, it is a good thing for you here. When we add that column up and we break it down, we get the moon, we get Cancer energy. And the moon, things can be a little murky. It's very Neptunian in that way, where by the light of the moon, things don't look the way they are. But we do have the full moon in Aquarius on August 9th. And that welcomes changes, right? Unexpected changes, visionary changes, ideas. Keep that in mind here, Sagittarius, because here in your opportunity column, you may have limiting fears for sure, but you are receiving and you are open here. Your opportunity is to go from these limiting fears to being open to what the universe is providing for you. You have the 5 of Swords, and the 5 of Swords, it could be conflict, but I have to tell you, it's a very defensive card to me, right? And it's defending or keeping an idea safe. There is something that's coming in that you're going to want to defend. You're going to want to keep for yourself. Saturn in Aquarius energy, and you have the Page of Wands. Newfound inspiration, free spirit, a very optimistic mindset, because this is Mercury and Sagittarius. And there is that Chariot energy. Remember when I said it's sideways? You're going to have to decide. Well, here it is. The Cancer energy, right? Right side up from summer, moving forward with that movement, that optimism, that confidence, success, alignment, triumph energy. Perfect energy. When we add this up and we break it down, it should be no surprise to you that we get Jupiter again. This is going to be a power month for you. Treat it as such. It is really a good energy. You have all the makings of something really positive for you to level up with here. Let's look at, I'm going to pull one of these cards to close out your reading, and then we'll do your numerology real quick for Sagittarius. You have Judgment, more Pluto energy, right? That number 10 energy, right? Reflection, reckoning, awakening. I would agree with that. You are being awakened from something here, Sagittarius. Okay, when we add all the numbers up in your reading and we break them down, we get Pluto energy again. Yeah, you're closing. Listen, you have the opportunity to close something out and start something brand new. For sure. Scorpion energy here is on the table. We did not have one number that came out the most, because you have like 3 or 4 numbers that are neck and neck. So we're going to skip over that part. But as far as planets go, Mercury came out the most in this reading. That's Gemini, Virgo energy, right? That is that hermit energy for sure. Also, Mercury is in retrograde for part of this month. And that Mercury retrograde may affect your situation. Check those dates. And please consider the post shadow when you do. The sign that came out the most here was Cancer. I'm actually surprised there wasn't more Jupiter energy in the culmination of this, but it is Cancer energy. It is that moon energy, right? It's that Chariot energy, that drive forward. Even though you can't see too far ahead of you, you're still in that chariot moving ahead. There is some sort of faith-based, remember that Planet X, that faith-based energy this month that is available to you. So you have Pluto, which is death and rebirth. You have the moon, which is, not everything is crystal clear, but you're still using it and moving ahead. And it could be that water energy as well. And you have Mercury, which is it's very changing, right? It is definitely mutable, right? You could be like yourself, very mutable sign, right? You could be changing hats. You could be changing your mind about something. It's obvious that's on the table. But remember this Judgment card. Remember that awakening, and try to look for it this month here, Sagittarius. I wish you nothing but the best, and I will see you next time.